This is the Train.Red muscle oxygen device. I think it's Train.Red FYER 2.0. It's a $740 muscle oxygen sensor with real-time SMO2 tracking to help optimize your training and recovery. Is this better than the Moxy Monitor, the NNOX Knox 1, or should you just stick to traditional heart rate monitoring? Today, we're going to find out. Now, Train.Red did send this device to me. This is the little carrying case that comes in it. They sent me a 2-pack, so I have 2 of these, one that I can use on each leg. And inside of this, you'll be able to have your muscle oxygen sensor. This is the Train.Red version. There's a new one that has a button now on it. And on the back, you can see where the PPG LED devices are to measure your SMO2 muscle oxygen levels. There's little clips right here that will wrap around. And they provide 2 ways to mount this or like stick it to your body. USB-C charging on the back. You do have to charge each device individually. There's one way where you can actually use these pads right here. You go ahead and place the device and then place the pads kind of over the device to hold it in place like so. And this will just stick onto your leg. These are good, but if you sweat a lot, if there's friction or something tugs on it, they can fall off, but it does take up less space. Whereas the second option is, and they're like one-time use, is reusable straps. So they have different lengths and different sizes. Ooh. They have like a small, large, and a medium, I think. And you'll go ahead and depending if you're putting this on your bicep, your thigh, depending on the diameter of your body part, you'll loop this inside through these little straps right here and loop it around to then place this device on your leg. And now how does this device work? Now that it's placed on your leg, they're going to shine 850 nanometer infrared light through your skin up to 0.8 inches into your muscle tissue. And they're going to measure oxygen saturation or SMO2 in your blood for those specific muscles. And it's going to show you real-time supply and versus demand. There's a 10 hertz sampling rate, so it can give you real-time data while you're exercising. So for endurance workouts, being able to understand, hey, how much muscle oxygen is in my thigh? And if it's starting to trend downwards, maybe I'm getting tired or I'm exiting, zone 2 or whatever that zone might be. There are 5 color-coded muscle states to visualize intensity zones without complex interpretation. The green zones are easy efforts, red zones are high intensity efforts, and then the Train.Red app will translate your raw SMO2 data into actionable muscle states automatically. And it'll give you a muscle stress score or MSS to quantify the total muscle fatigue accumulated during a session. And this is helpful because there's multiple things you can do. One, for like weight training, you can have a smart rest timer feature to see that your body has recovered to its standard muscle oxygen levels, and then you can start your set again. This is really good for endurance training, strength hypertrophy training, where you might need different lengths of rest based on the type of workout that you're doing. I mean, you're no longer like guessing, can I restart the workout or not? Like you're getting actual data to be able to do that. And then if you're doing like endurance training, you want to see at what speed, for a marathon runner, am I decreasing my muscle oxygen volume to a certain amount where I might be exiting zone 2 and I can like slow down my pace if needed. Now, who is this for? It's for serious endurance athletes, strength training optimizers, and performance focused coaches. If you're training 4 times a week, you want to go beyond general fitness, like you're really trying to achieve maximum performance. This is where someone would purchase one of these. If you're already using a Garmin, Wahoo, or Ant Plus devices, you want deeper physiological insights. You're competing at a high level in cycling, triathlon, CrossFit, and you really need muscle fatigue measurements to prevent overtraining and optimize recovery, then this is the way to go. We'll have a link down in the description. You click that link, it helps support the channel. Now, what about some specs? So this thing weighs about 0.7 ounces or 20 grams. It's about 0.8 inches. It's super thin as well, just millimeters thick. The wavelength is 850 nanometer infrared light for deep tissue penetration, and you need to have 1.4 inch spacing to enable deeper measurement capability. It is waterproof. There is a USB plug here to allow you to swim with it. You get 20 hours of charge per charge, and it takes about 2 hours to get a full charge. The sampling rate is 10 hertz, so 10 measurements per second for real-time data during activities. It uses Bluetooth low energy for smartphone pairing and Ant Plus for direct connection to your Garmin watch, Wahoo bike computers, and other devices. It has a gyroscope and accelerometer IMU built in for movement tracking, and it records the data on board locally when it disconnects, so you never lose your workout data. There's multi-device connection, so you can connect 10 plus of these simultaneously to one smartphone, and it's made of highly biocompatible ABS and TPE approved for skin contact, so you can wear this on your skin. The Train.Red app is Android and iOS, and the numbers that it's going to be tracking is SMO2, muscle oxygen saturation, tissue saturation index, muscle states, the 5 intensity zones, oxyhemoglobin, difference between oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, your muscle stress score, the time in muscle states per session, the fuel use ratio for metabolic efficiency, IMU data, and recovery phase timing and recommendations. Now, there are data export where you can export a lot of this data. Version 1 only shared 3 of those, whereas version 2 shares a lot more, and it can share that with third-party platforms, so that's really good. So the reason that you might want this over like just a heart rate monitor is heart rate monitoring can lag 30 to 60 seconds behind actual muscle effort, and a lot of lactate testing requires blood draws, so this could be a proxy for testing certain things where lactate is also good information. and lab testing for that can take $100 to $200. Another issue is the Moxy Monitor, another blood oxygen, is $800, so it's more expensive than this. The Nox One adds nitric oxide, but the cost will add up over time because you have to purchase more things. And a lot of professional teams like the UFC, NBA, NHL, NFL are using these, and they need multiple sensors. So maybe you want to save money because you're buying a whole bunch. And then the previous consumer muscle oxygen market kind of went out of business, BSX, Human. So this is another challenge. Like, these companies might go out of business. It's still relatively new, and the target market, I think, is relatively small. So I hope that they're able to make this device and make it work. But this could also be helpful for altitude training, heat adaptation, injury rehab, strength training optimization, things like that. There are some challenges in terms of no training peak, no Strava integration. They're still working on adding a lot of features, so it is relatively new. Smaller team, it's a startup, so this take into account that there is going to be more effort potentially on the consumer side to get the data, but there's going to be less consumers who use this, so I totally understand that. There's no on-off button, but the new one has a button, which is good. I wish there was an easy way to charge multiple devices at the same time rather than having like 500 USB-C cables, so some kind of charging hub, but it is $740, which includes the sensor, the charging cable, 20 patches, 3 straps, and a waterproof plug and travel pouch. A set of 4 of these will run you $2,958, and then the patches are $23 for a 20-pack. Replacement pack for the straps are $35, but these you can just clean. You don't need to do that. There's no monthly fees, where Nox requires a $200 to $800 yearly membership. So it's cheaper than Moxy, no membership like Nox. This is definitely one of the cheaper options. If you do plan to buy it, click the link in the description, help support the channel, subscribe, turn notifications, comment below what other questions you might have, and we do a deeper dive test with these. We'll see you next one. Follow me at Shervin Shares. Peace.